So now some people are in the mission to search that person. Huh? We'll solve this question, right? See, how we are going to solve this. First, you can just write, we can try to solve through persuasive methods. Try to solve through persuasive methods. So then you just write in stepwise. So this has to be solved. This entire case has to be solved in stepwise only. Okay. As Tanya arrived, okay, very good, very good. Actually, I was very much impressed about her answers. Please take it from your friend. She has done it in a very organized and very structured manner. Only a small mistake I have notified, I think so. And I forwarded for her. Related to some example which she has done a mistake. Why I notified that example? Did you understand? You have given the evacuation of people if there is a developmental project which is going to take place in the name of dam. So that is national priority. You cannot say that we have to consider a small community which is residing there, although we have to, but on the basis of virtue ethics you can mention, no, by basis of ethics of care, in that way you can mention. But teleology ethics also say that greater good, and you cannot just bring it in the case of teleology and deontology, this case. Okay, if there is a virtue ethics, then you can mention this as an example, but the next example which you are given in the question is perfect. Only that is enough. Okay, so take it as a, she has done it in a very structured, organized, and confined manner. That is why I'm very much impressed, because page limit is very important, students. When you're trying your answers, keep that in mind, okay? Then, so persuasive method, step number one. Step number one, you can just mention like, first, unsustainable in law, okay? Unsustainable in law, mention that, put the hyphen and write. So why unsustainable in law? What is the meaning of that? First, you have to notify these to the people. Okay, so why that, the judgment given by High Court was overruled by Supreme Court? Based on this only, unsustainable in law. Why it is mentioned as unsustainable in law? Who is having authority to frame policies regarding rivers? Central government only. Central government only can frame policies. The state government or state high court cannot interfere in the duty of the central government to frame the policies related to the river. Are steps taken to protect the river? Then who has to take the steps? The central government. So you have to mention that is why this was underlined by the court, and the court has overruled the high court statement based on this only. So you mention the facts and figures related to the case. Okay. Then even if they are not convinced, they doesn't want this to happen, they want that again the legal entity thing has to be announced, then you can say that some of your friend has mentioned is similarly placed source. I am very much impressed with that word. We used to say the similarly placed sources when a person is getting affected, Anna. But he has mentioned similarly placed sources of schemes, Anna. So what differently thinking about it. So he has said that this is not the one and only way to protect the rivers. So we do have a lot of schemes in protection of the rivers. So you can just mention that, you write only the points. Number one, unsustainable in law, then put a hyphen and write. So I may discuss, I forgot. So just put a hyphen and write. Here, the Supreme Court has overruled the judgment. Supreme Court has overruled the judgment because it is the duty of the central government. It's a duty of the central government to frame policies and schemes regarding protection of rivers. So this should be stated regarding protection of rivers. This should be stated as a fact. To the protesters. Mention that. It should be stated as the fact to the protesters, those who are protesting. In that second point. So all has come. All of you have come. Maybe one or two will not come. Who is that person now who has sent without your name? Answers. Somebody has forwarded answers to me from this class only. No ghost is going to come. So who is that? Online students, any of you? No. Because one person has written this particular answer for persuasion in a nice manner. That is why I want to share it with your friends. I want you to share it with your friends. I don't know who has done it. Okay, fine. Maybe some of the students may be
Yes,
absent.
ma'am.
You only,
Shubkaran, ma'am. Yes.
you only did it. Oh my God. See, so please mention your name so that I can identify yourself. No, so this person
Okay,
has
ma'am. Sorry.
no issues. Please share it with your friends. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
so let them also have a look. Good. So then you just write second point. Second point. So you can just bring to their notice. Bring to their notice the various schemes, the various schemes and policies, various schemes and policies uh, to their notice. To their notice. Okay, the various schemes and policies, which are prevailing, which are already prevailing in the state. Which are already prevailing in the state means here I'm mentioning about the country. Okay, already prevailing in the state where only proper implementation is lagging, where only proper implementation is lagging, where only proper implementation is lagging. We are taking answers for case study. Okay, the last class case study. Proper implementation is lagging. So which should be considered first. Okay, you should not go and fight for the one which is not there. Already which is there, you fight for that. You just go and try for implementation. You pressurize the government for implementing the schemes properly. So that way only you can try to say, right? Then third, it would leave many jobless. It would leave many people jobless and affect their livelihood also. Immediately, no, this is going to affect many people. So you just mentioned this will leave many jobless. This would leave many jobless and affect the livelihood of people. Livelihood of people. So what are the other programs which are there available for cleaning of this river? Cleaning, not for river, linking of river and all. Cleaning of river. What are the projects? Namami Ganga program is there. Clean Ganga program, no. Then any other program? Clean Ganga mission is there. You will be studying. When you are reading your paper, you know that, no? So Ganga Gram, something like that. Also, I have read some Ganga Gram. And one person has mentioned about Nukkad meetings. What is Nukkad meeting? In this same, the online student only, I think. He has mentioned about Nukkad meeting, but the spelling was wrong. What is that Nukkad meeting? I don't know how you pronounce this. Nukkad or it's some Hindi word or something. Nukkad. So there is something called as Nukkad Sabas. Okay, just verify that. Local meetings. So there is there is the party which is conducting Nukkad Sabas. No, before the poll and after the poll also they do. So the Nukkad Sabas, very good. He has brought that also. But he has brought us different idea that we can conduct some Nukkad meetings, Nukkad Sabas, where the local bodies, using the local bodies, we can try to influence the people to change their mind. Okay. So the local bodies participations are very important. Anything you take. In implementation of the schemes also, in order to try to pacify the movement also, their involvement is very much important because who will become the leader of the local bodies? Those who are influential in the particular village, in the particular place only will become influential. So you can call all the local body people, put a meeting. Look, so this you can mention, Nukkad Sabas. Just write and keep. You can frame a sentence related to that. So apart from this, you can use these ideas. Nukkad Sabas, he has done that. Nukkad meetings you can mention, okay? Where the local body people, put a hyphen and write, where the local body people can be called. Okay, local body people can be called and they can be involved in persuading and specifying the movement. Nukkad Sabas, put a hyphen and write, where the local body people can be called. Local body people can be called. Local body leaders, not all people. Local body leaders, mention that, can be called. And then what I have said, and then they can be used for persuading and pacifying the movement. Persuading and specifying the movement. So it doesn't mean that you have to write big paragraphs related to each and every point. Okay. Make it simple, make it understandable. That's important. Okay. That's it. Then, so this is the question. Suppose this turns to be a violent unrest. You know, what and all the steps you will be taking? What are the steps you will take if it's a mob unrest? Huh? Huh? 144. Okay. Then, Anna, some people will take violent action. No. So as we can say that we have to follow some steps. Okay. Police is under whose control, first of all? State. The administrative and what are the other things? State is completely responsible, okay, for the legislative and the administrative function of police. This you have to know. And if there is some protest is going on, okay, so after the protest you can bring that all sections and all. But when the protest starts, how you have to control it, how you can prevent it, first of all. So what are the measures you have to take before, prior, when there is some movement has begun, you know? So you can just mention, if the movement, you know, I will take some steps in order to prevent it to become a mob unrest. That way you give a heading. In order to prevent it from happening as a mob unrest, violent mob unrest. Okay. Steps I would take to prevent this peaceful protest, okay, peaceful protest turning into a violent mob unrest. Violent mob unrest. So in that you just mention some points. First point, security has to be tightened and heightened. Security has to be tightened and heightened. Okay, how will you tighten and heighten the security? Not the security who's standing out. Anna, security of the state. How will you tighten and heighten the security? Put a hyphen and write. Deploying more forces. Anna. So police is under the state control. In police itself, there are two arms. You know that or not? What are the two arms? That is the issue which happened in Thoothukudi. Anna. So two arms of police are there. One is civil arm. Okay. One we call a civil arm. The another one is called like gundas. Now they come when there is some issues happening for the people. Rapid action force. Okay. Okay. So we call this as armed police. Civil police and armed police. Civil police. Okay. So these people will take care of all those crimes which is happening. Theft, these types of petty crimes which is taking place in the state, they will handle. Armed police will not come unless there is a violent protest, which is going to happen, which is going to affect the state and order issues. So these people will, if you notice, they will not be in uniform. They will not wear police shirts and all that uniform shirt of police. In Thoothukudi incident, if you see the video clip, you would have watched that the police people will stand there. In between them, there will be some people wearing yellow color t-shirt. You can notice them. They will carry arms in their hand. All the latest weapons they will handle. So what they do, they shot the civilians. In that video, you would have noticed yellow color t-shirt, they will stand and then they will shoot the civilians. So there are two arms. Armed police is responsible for controlling the law and order issues. You came from gym. Huh? Okay, so same way as rapid action force. He has mentioned about rapid action force. These people can be called home guards. Home guards. There is some special type of police called home guards. Okay, they are mainly responsible for law and order in the state. And apart from that, one central force is also involved. What is that? CIS. How? See? He has said the right one. See? CRPF. Central Reserve Police Force. Okay, we call Central Reserve Police Forces also will come when if there is some mob unrest which is going to happen on the call of whom? Who is responsible for calling? If it is in the state, complete state is involved, the chief secretary has to take the call. He has to decide what are the actions he is going to take. You know, so you have complete control. IAS officers have the complete control. Huh? So that's why I told you, if your friend is an IPS officer and you are an IAS officer posted in the same district, you would call him, come, dude, it's the time we have to act. Anna, and he has to come running to your command. Right. So then write the second point. All SHO means, you know, no, station house officer. SHO were directed to deploy. Can be. All SHOs can be directed to deploy. Can be directed to deploy drones. Can be directed to deploy drones. Nowadays, drones are also participating. No, drones is very important. You can mention that. Technology is also important in our answer. So to deploy drones around the area. Okay, to deploy drones around the area to maintain surveillance. To deploy drones around the area to maintain surveillance. Okay, to maintain surveillance and to prevent to maintain surveillance and to prevent any untoward incident. Any untoward incident. To maintain surveillance, to survey the area and to prevent any untoward incident. Then third point, police personals can be given, body cameras. Now, can we do that? We can. Now, can be given body cameras, CMERAS, to watch what is happening there. If there is some people who are trying to, disturb the peace inside the protest, you can watch it clearly. So using the body cameras to prevent unlawful peoples, indulging in, antisocial act, okay, antisocial act, right? Then, so these are the things which you can, we are coming to that point only. If these people, if suppose, then next point you write. You start the next paragraph that suppose if the mob is not able to be controlled, the mob is not able to be controlled and if it turns to be a, okay, turns to be a violent unrest. Okay, violent unrest. Okay, then what you will do? Then we will use the traditional method. Not using gun and firing against the civilians. Okay, then we will use the traditional method of handling civil unrest. Like, what are the traditional method? Like water cannons, you said, batons, BATONS, water cannons, tear gas, all this you mentioned, like using batons, water cannons, tear gas to disperse them. Okay, disperse them because it should not turn into a violent mob unrest. Okay. And then you can say that I will impose section 144. And you have the authority when there is an emergency situation. Immediately you cannot say, no, section 144, I'll go. No, nobody will go. No, then you have to control the mob first of all. You have to disperse them from the place. Then you can handle the situation accordingly, because now it is not a peaceful protest. Then you have to take actions from the respective to the government. Then you will call the leaders. See, now it has turned to be a violent mob unrest. We cannot handle this. No more protests. We are not going to support this. Then call the leaders. Look at meetings. Say them. Go and talk to your people. Tell them that this is not the only way that we are going to oppose the government. Okay, government is handling all the major programs in order to clean the rivers and all. So we'll take care of that programs. We will try whether that we'll see whether that program are going in the right way. Now you go, you do social auditing. There is some field called as social auditing. Through social auditing, you question the government. You see whether they have spent the money in the right way. Whether the results have been in the predictable manner, whether outcome has come for the particular programs. Then you question the government. This way you can just say that, talk to the people and try to solve this issue. So these are the steps you will be following, right? Done? Got it? So now, second unit also over. I'll be sending some notes for you. And I told that political and moral attitude, I will be sending notes. Okay. So we will be having a test related to the second unit in this weekend. Okay. So we'll see what are the questions so far which has come from this unit. Okay. In 2022, there was a question. There was a question like the rules and regulations. I forgot to forward. Okay, just write the rules and regulation, put ... I'll just forward this question later. Then it will be easy for you to refer. And so the question was like this. Just listen and then answer. The rules and regulations provided to all the civil servants are same. Okay, so all have the same rules and regulations, comma, yet there is a difference in performance, but they are performing differently. Positive minded officers. Okay, they will be talking about two types of officer in this question. Positive minded officers are able to interpret the rules and regulations in favor of the case and achieve success. If you have the question paper, you can take 2022 question, it is there. Okay, and achieve success. Varies. Negative minded officers are unable to achieve goals by interpreting the same rules and regulations only against the case they are doing it, not for the implementation of the case. Discuss with illustration. This is how they gave the question for you. So discuss with illustration. That's it. You have to discuss this point. You cannot simply oppose it or do something, but you have to discuss this completely. Yes, you have to agree and then you have to continue your points. How will you do this? They're saying they gave the answer for you. Positive minded officers are trying to predict the rules and regulations in the right way for the benefit of people. That is why they're coming to say. But negative minded officers are not doing it for the benefit of people. They are predicting against the case and they are not achieving success. So you have to illustrate with the example. How will you do this? So this was a question which was asked in 2022. The question was for around 7 or 8 sentence. Okay, answer same only. 150 words, 10 marks. So how will you answer this? Any idea? What is the case? That initiative which was implemented by Raj Yadav. My school, my form. Okay, you can take for a positive side. But here you have to explain for both the sides. No, positive minded and negative minded officers. So how will you do that? Just try. You can use the coordinate. You can also use the coordinate. Very good. You can put same way. He is asking like this. You are just trying to draw the like this. Good. You can also think in this manner. So, but you can also take as a flow chart. Okay. So in flow chart, if I want to mention, I can mention like this. This person, how he will behave in particular situation. If he is behaving in the positive way, how he will do. If he is behaving in the negative way, a negative minded officer, how he will handle a particular situation. What is the situation? The situation is this. For example, there was a case related to the father-son death, both. Lockup, custodial death of father and son. So you can mention that Satankulam case. It is popularly called Satankulam case. Even you can mention about J-Beam story. There was a case, no? Tribal, where a tribal was killed. So Satankulam case. If the person is in positive attitude, if he is in a positive attitude, what was the problem here? Somebody has said, yes, we know. What is the issue related to this problem? Egoistic officer, because at that time, what was going on? COVID, now also it is coming again. Yesterday it is spreading. So be aware. Put mask and all. All of you are injected or not? Okay, good. 3 times. Very good. 3 doses. Be aware of him. Previously, they also said that we will turn to some way after injecting corona vaccine and all. Yes, then what happens? This is an issue because the lockdown was going on, curfew. During COVID, there was lockdown, and after 9 o'clock, you should not open your shops or anything. Any business should not be conducted. You have to be in your home. You should not walk here and there. What happened? This father and son has opened a shop. They were about to close, but it get delayed that day. So this officer who was passing that way, he saw that shop is open. These people, the negative-minded officers are always will be in a negative mentality only. Always they think inferior. That is why they always say, who I am. You don't respect me. These types of words comes from the mouth of those people who feel they themselves are inferior to others. Okay. So this person was very much rigid in character, aggressive in nature, and also he is not egoistic. The main thing is egoistic. Okay. And he is very much inferior, that officer. That is why what he did, he just started abusing the persons. No? Lack of deontology. We cannot mention completely as deontology because he was trying, it was trying as if he's pretending to do his duty. Okay, he is doing his duty only, but he is pretending to do his duty. What? And the way is wrong. That is why we are coming to say. It doesn't mean that he is not doing his duty. Okay, the question also demanding the same only. All the officers are doing their duty. All the officers are having the same rules and regulations only. They're following it. But what way you are doing your duty is important here. This is important. We are not saying it's not unimportant at all. You have to close the shops, but it's not the way you handle the people. Just come and ask them, what is the issue? Why you are not closed? We'd have met a lot of people like that. A lot of officers who would talk in a very friendly manner, very sociable manner. So he did not ask like that. He started abusing. He started scolding the father who was there, the old man. And the moment the son, because the son was nearby, went nearby, and the moment when the son reached there, he saw his father has been abused by the officer. Then he felt very bad. How will you accept? If our father and mother has been abused, then we never stand against it, whoever it might be. So then he started, sir, please talk decently. He's the elder, no, please talk decently. Then he started asking, these people, how they began. As I said, negative-minded people will wait for a word. Then it comes, they started a fight. And he said, how dare you speak against me? I'm talking now. Nobody should talk against me. Come, get inside the jeep. For 10 minutes later to close the shop. So this is, if he is a positive-minded officer, how would he face the situation? You would have asked for, you'd have warned him first. Warning is important. No, see, it is not repeatedly this person is doing it. Repeatedly, he's not drinking and moving here and there. He is just there, not close for a few minutes. Then you would have warned him. You would have said that I should not see this repetitive manner. If I come again and I see you and I get hold of you, I will take you to the station. You can warn him. Nobody will try. No, we will definitely do it next day also. No one is going to answer in that manner. Yeah, all are fearful of a uniform, right? So they will obey. If he is not obeying for the second time, you can write, a question has to be written in this manner only. If this person is completely, repeatedly doing it, then he can be taken to the police station. Then he can be taken some action. You can take some action against him. Fine. Like this way, you can handle the situation. People will also not dislike you. That is main thing. Here, people like you. All people will like you because people love those officers who are very friendly in nature, at the same time following law and order. You should not go and eat for free, then come friendly. It's not that means. You should also handle the law and order situation of the state, but in the friendly manner, sociable manner, in an understandable manner, empathetic towards the people. That is important. But this officer did not do it, abusing, then take them to the police station. He did not stop there. That is the main issue. He did not stop there. He started beating the father and son. He started beating, abusing them. Okay, and you'd have seen that a lot of violence has been inflicted on these two people. And then custodial death has happened. They died. Son and the father has died because of the egoistic nature of the officer. When I inquired, this officer said, I did my duty. How you did your duty? This is your duty to beat and harass the people. It is not. So that is how you can mention for this case. It's a perfect example which you can use as an illustration. Same way, if you find some other examples related to this, you can use that as an example here, like this in the illustrative manner. Okay, so these people will be trusted by people, trusted by citizens. They will love these types of officers. Okay, they will obey. Obedience can come through this way only. You cannot force. So what happens? These types of people will make everything successful. Whatever the government is trying to implement, the schemes, anything, it will become in a successful manner, come out in a successful manner. You can take Raj Yadav case also, put here. He's a good officer. He was trying to understand the people. He waited for 8 months. In an empathetic way, he has handled the situation. He tried talking with people, then implemented the scheme, built the trust, and then did it. That is why his program was successful. If there is some negative-minded officer, you would have forcefully implemented it. People would have not, trusted him and not cooperated with him. Without people participation or cooperation, the program would not ended up in a successful way. So here failure would have come. So any example you have to take, but you have to turn it according to the question. Okay. Then, which office? That he was a little bit suspended for some days. That's it. He joined again in work. That's what. Banned, but it is continuously. No, you cannot do. You cannot do. But these people manipulate the things according to them. Okay, they simply. That is why we are saying, there are a lot of loopholes in the law and order. And if something has been caught, the higher officers are also get involved into it, because as we are saying now, popular cases going on, no watch case, in southern part. 20. It is happening now and then, manipulation of dog. Only junior level officers will be inquired. They will be involved. But what happens? All these things comes from above. Okay. Yeah, that's the way. That's the thing. They at least transfer the people. That's it. That is the highest punishment which is offered to the people in service. That is why they are behaving in this manner. I told you, excess security. This is one such reasons we can say the corruption is prevailing inside the government office. Corruption means not only taking money. You take people's land. It is also a form of corruption. You favor someone. It's a form of corruption. You discriminate someone. It's also a form of corruption. You don't like this person because he belongs to some other community. Maybe that is the reason you would have harmed him much more. We don't know who this officer, which community he belongs to. If it is revealed, community violence may happen. For that reason also, they will not try to reveal some points from the government side. So that inquiry will happen. Everything will take place. But what happens? Officers are secured. Most of all, they will be suspended for few days, then transfer. In worst case only, they will say, you take, please, officer, you take VRS, leave from our eyesight. Some young officers, they say, I am in VRS. Sometimes they don't want to stand in the corrupted system. They walk out. Sometimes system walk outs them because they are the most corrupted. So this happens in two ways also. They are the most corrupted officers that this system doesn't want them more. Please, we know everything about you, because there is something called as ACR, in the name of Annual Confidential Report, where the report of each and every officers will go to, not higher officials, PMO office. PMO will keep on watch you. So if you are too much corrupted, if you are involving in some subversion activities, not corruption, subversion, you will be anonymously killed. We need not talk about that here and all. You will miss, your file will miss from the government. Immediately you will vanish from the government itself. Why? Subversion is something which is completely more illegal act which you are going to involve. What is subversion? You are stealing the data and the information, confidential information of the government, giving it to some other miscreants, anti-nationals, for money or for your own favor, or for extraterritorial loyalty. It can happen for in these reasons. In military, ball dance. What is ball dance? Dancing with the ball. Anna, who someone's brother or sisters is in military officers. If you have any family member there, you just go and ask them what is ball dance. Anna, officers. Only officers will go for this. Okay. So that is a way of honey trap. You know, nowadays we are discussing honey trapping the political leaders. It's happening now in South now. That is the issue. Main issue is going on. One leader of the political party has taken the video of all the higher political persons. Now he has occupied the leadership position, but everyone video is with him. All elders, they have to stand tying his hands like this. Why? He was previous an IPS officer. You know how to handle people. Taken all the videos. Now threatening. Honey trap. We call in the form of ball dance. It happens in military. Sometimes the officers, they themselves doesn't know. They are revealing some important information about our country. It goes out. Then suddenly that officer will get vanished. We are also having all the spies. Our government is also having. So they know how and when these informations are released, where, and then they get caught up. Okay, so this is how we try to write answer for this question. Okay, come back. Attitude is an important. In 2021, there was a question. Attitude is an important. Like that, you write, put ... refer the 2021 question paper. I will try to send for you. In that, you can check. So question is like this. Attitude is an important component that goes as input in the development of human beings. Okay. Important component that goes as an input in the development of human beings. Okay. How to build a suitable attitude? How to build a suitable attitude needed for a public servant? How will you build a suitable attitude for a public servant? We have done we have written some points. Do you remember? Instrumental conditioning. So that means only the honest of previously this types of illegal officers were involving in illegal activities and corruption were punished, but to a certain limit. We have some restriction also, but the honest officers are not rewarded at all. So you have to mention about how you are transferring the honest officers. You are punishing him only. You are transferring him to some other places and his family is suffering. So we have to stop this. The system itself has to be reformed, structured. The mentality of the officers has to be changed. How? Because these officers are reflection of the society, they themselves. They come from the society where the unwanted behaviors, unwanted attitudes are prevalent. So how will you, remove these unwanted attitudes from an officer? By giving them not only IQ training, EQ, CQ, SQ, AQ, PQ, all Qs has to be put into this mind of this officer. There is a mission called Mission Karma Yogi. This officer has to be involved into that mission of Karma Yogi, not rule-based, but role-based. These things you have to give here. Okay. Then in 2020, there was a question, a positive attitude. It starts like this, a positive attitude. Okay. Listen to the question. A positive attitude is considered to be an essential character of a civil servant. Yes. Who is often required to function under extreme stress. What contributes a positive attitude in person? This is general answer you can write. Anyone you take. So what will contribute to a positive attitude in a person? You can even take for a civil servant. Previously, you can mention, you can put two things. For a Norman man, and after he becomes a civil servant. Two way how you can bring a positive attitude in a person. Here, in this answer, you can write like that. How will you bring positive attitude in a common man? Same way we said, awareness program, behavior change strategy, all this you have to bring. We have discussed already in classes. Social learning techniques, very good. Then 2019, there was a question. What do each of the following quotation means to you in that? Okay. So 2019, this way that question start. A man is but a product of his thoughts. What he thinks he becomes. This was a question. What will you write for this? A man is but a product of his thoughts. What he thinks he becomes. This was said by M.K. Gandhi. So what you will write for this? Even much more people have said related to this. Even Swami Vivekananda has also said something like this related to this. statement. So it is said that what you are thinking, you will become that only. If you are thinking in a jealousy manner, I see, always some air is coming out of your mouth. Other person has scored nicely. You know, my brother has secured a nice position. My sister has secured a nice position. I'm still studying here. Thinking in that manner. Why are you always demoting yourself? You know, this is the way you are demoting you. So this is what he said. What you think you become. You know, you have to think in the positive way. No matter what, whatever they do, that is their life. This is my life. I have to live my life. My life, I have to think in a positive manner. It will end up in a positive manner. That is what he said. What you think you become. You can predict it in another way also. You're preparing for UPSC. Give that itself as an example. Now what? Yeah. So when you change the way you look at the things, you know, so everything may change for you. The way you approach the UPSC also matters here. So the way you think, then that way you become. So you are always should think in a positive manner. They're talking about positive mentality only. Okay. So this will end up in a positive way of life. Then suppose 2018, this was a question. Suppose the government is thinking of constructing a dam in a mountain valley bound by forest and inhabited by ethnic community. Okay. What rational policy you would resort to in dealing with unforeseen contingencies? So now the dam has to be constructed. There is residing ethnic community. So how will you handle this situation? Same persuasion method only. We are going to handle through persuasion and social influence technique. You can bring some person who is influential in that person. You can talk to him. You can make him understand that. So this is the need. This is the necessity. A dam has to become. If a dam has to come, dam is going to favor many people. It is going to benefit, a group of people more than your community. So you have to voluntarily give this to the society's benefit, move away. And then you just tell me what are the demands you need. You know, what are the things you need from my side? I'll arrange it from the government. This is the way you have to start the talk. Then you have to give your points. Okay. So you have to handle this case, especially persuasion and social influence technique you have to bring in. Okay. The last only instrumental conditioning. And if they're not obeying, then what to do? You have to use law and order only here. Right. 2017, young people with ethical conduct are not willing to come forward to join active politics. Suggest steps to motivate them to come forward. How will you write this question? Same, they are asking these types of questions only. Some social issue they will bring. They will bring some issues where their adequate representation is required. And one of the students was framing answer for this also from your class. I don't know whether he has framed it or not. Done it? You were asking doubt related to this question, no? Which already is in the UPSC. Yeah. Have you found out some answers for that? You can share it with your friends. So like you can bring in education. In education itself, we do have in the college, we have a system. Even in school, we can bring this. In the college, we do have election systems. We have or not? You have in your college or not? How will you do? How will you conduct in the democratic way? Or unopposed you select someone. No, nothing like that. So it's totally different. Some students, when I interact, they used to say that it's totally different, madam. What happens here and what happens in our college is not match at all. So that. Okay, so there are some politics also. You know, even in college elections also, there are a lot of politics which are involved into it. It is happening. Okay. From outside, yeah, it is happening. So, don't mention that and all because, for this question, you should not mention this. In paper and all it come, but when you are writing in exam, you should not write in the negative manner. Okay, they are asking you to give a suggestion to bring them to act. If you say this, then who will come? Even in college politics, there is an influence from outside, from major party. So how will you try to convince young people with good attitude? How will you convince them? Then you have to bring in a lot of programs for them, make them understand the positive side of the politics. So there someone has to come in order to give benefit to the people. Why we had this? Why we have the system? Why we have a democratic system? Because here people is acting for the benefit of people. People only can understand the needs of people. People is going to make policies for the people and give it to the people. The fund which is collected from the people is again returned back to the people in the form of development. So this and all you have to mention, and you can bring the good things about some recent political parties where they are considering the benefit of people. Anna. So like you can mention, for example, I don't want to mention the 3-letter party, Anna, with Jadu or something. They are bringing in lot of new faces into the politics. They are giving opportunities for new people. Same way in southern side also we have a lot of parties which are giving opportunities for youngsters. Now without money, you can just go and participate in the politics. They're selecting people like that. Only you should have proper attitude, proper positive mentality to help or benefit the people, not to expand your pocket and grow as a white elephant. You have to act for the interest of the people. So that way you have to mention some of the points. Even educational system you can change. You can bring in a lot of awareness programs for the students from the childhood only. You can see that politics is not a dirty business. It's something which is a part of life. That type of attitude change has to happen to the people. Attitude is the problem. No. What happens when you say, I'm going to politics? Will your father and mother say, put garland and say, yeah, son, daughter, you can walk very freely, go into politics, participate. Whether they encourage you, they said, fool, don't you know that there are a lot of people who are already suffering? They are starting from the base work. You don't have anything. You don't have any, background. How will you come in politics? Just go study your subject, write the exams, take some job. Where are you going? Something where your life is not secured at all. So anything can happen in politics. This type of mentality people are having, that has to be changed. Accepting it as such, so it is imbibed inside the fabric, social fabric. It is already there. Society has accepted it in such a way that has to be changed. Then automatically what happens? The younger generation will change their mentality. So these are some of the ways we can mention here. Okay. Then 2016, there was a question. Our attitude towards life. So this already we have seen in first. Which is talking about all these things. Hmm. 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 It happens. These types of videos will circulate, but we also should put some positive videos. Your college only. Then who is behind that video? Who shot that video and has released it? That cannot be revealed. Now by this time they would have find out that person. Anna, see, the thing is, take the action. See, the thing is that video is released, something like depicted in this manner. That person has to be punished. Before the people has to get positive thinking that if you're involving in these types of illegal acts, or you're threatening or frightening the people, you're a terrorist also, anti-national only. Now you're threatening the people, a common man and citizen, and trying to create violence. Now this is out. If it is truth, inquiry committee has to be set up. The committee has to find out whether it is truth or not. Then you have to punish those people who are involving in that type of activity. So what happens? This will create a positive impact on the people. That way you can drive. Okay. So that is a question. Who is going to put a bell for the cat? The thing is that system has to be changed. If you want to reform, if you have to reform the system, then only we can bring young people. We cannot question an argument in the exams. We all know that it is not practical. It is less practical, but theoretical only most of the times. But we are trying to change from our side. Activists are there. NGOs are trying. Some NGOs are not selling themselves. Most of them sell themselves, but some are there who are there for the people's interest. They're trying to do it. But what happens? Everywhere, we are telling crime should be controlled, theft should be controlled, violence should be controlled. Everywhere it is happening only, but we are taking actions. No, we are trying to control it. Same way, when there is some negative forces which are entering into politics, and there is a data which is showing now the politicians that previously politicians had a link with criminals. Now criminals are becoming politicians. So that is how it is changing, but we also should try from our side. That is why they ask this question. Bring young people into politics, you know, right? Then see the question like this: how could social influence and persuasion contribute to the success of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan? They asked direct question like this in the year of 2016. So they are asking with related to some scheme. Why? That scheme became very popular during that period. Everywhere in the newspaper, you would have seen the strategies used by common man to stop the common people doing open defecation. So that you can mention here. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in that, like putting a whistle, then flashlight. They used to use all these strategies. No, you can use that social influence and persuasion techniques also here. So you can bring in some street plays and then spread the awareness about open defecation, the harmful thing of open, because polio in that period it spread due to open defecation only. Main reason is open defecation. Same way, even now many diseases are spreading due to open defecation only. You can bring to the awareness of the people. Like this, you can try to just impart some knowledge using social influence. And what are those things which you have? Foot in the door technique is there. Door in the face. We have. Then even we can bring in instrumental conditioning here. So observational learning. You can just notify some state which has turned completely open defecation free. Learn from them. So see now how the people are there. What are the benefits they are getting from the government also. So this way you can just mention some schemes here and then write this question. Okay. Anyway, if they are going to bring any other scheme, you should know how you have to handle that. Okay. So 2015, two different kind of attitude exhibited by public servants towards their work have been identified as bureaucratic attitude and the democratic attitude. Okay, what is bureaucratic attitude? What is democratic attitude? Ivory tower mentality is bureaucratic. Totally, you are sitting in the up. You're sitting far above and you're thinking everyone is below you. And you're saying that, what are you? Fools only. Common man. You don't understand. You are not ready to rectify your problem. So you are not ready to understand what is there related to government. You are not ready to sort out your issues. This way you are complaining about the people continuously. That is bureaucratic attitude. And sorry. And sticking to only laws and rules. Law and order. Law and rule which is provided to him. That is bureaucratic attitude. But what is democratic attitude? Thinking from the people's angle, more empathetic in nature. So these things are called as democratic attitude. You should say that both has to be there for a person. So see, they have asked two questions related to this. Distinguish between these two terms. What two terms? Bureaucratic attitude and democratic attitude. Write their merits and demerits. For both you have tried. No, we cannot simply completely evaluate bureaucratic mentality also, because bureaucratic mentality has to be there. Our system is completely a hierarchical system of administration. If there is no bureaucratic attitude, that one person controlling another person, obedience will not be there. If obedience is not there, what happens? The system will become a chaos, confusion. Anybody will do anything. Like how zombies, suddenly they will come in the movies, walk here and there. Same way the officers will also be. So worse than a zombies, then merit and demerit. You have to mention the demerit of it. First you have to mention the merit, then you have to mention the demerit related to bureaucratic attitude. What will be the demerit of the bureaucratic attitude? An officer can have a bureaucratic attitude related to his subordinates or his superiors, but not related to the people, citizen. So that will bring a demerit. Then, and sometimes with related to people also, when law and order has to be there, he has to behave in that way. So that is how you have to mention this. Is it possible to balance the two? That's the second question. It's possible to balance the two to create a better administration for the faster development of our country? Yes, it is required, because sometimes development will not happen if you're simply going and convincing people. You are not a beggar. You are an officer. No, you should have that in your mind. And at the same time, you should try to convince the people from influence, through your influence, not like a NGO people. No, just going and begging in front of them. You cannot do that. So you have to have both bureaucratic attitude and democratic attitude in order to make successful development in the particular area. 2014. What factors affect the formation of person's attitude towards social problem? In our society, contrasting attitudes are prevalent about many social problems. Okay, what contrasting attitude do you notice? This is the question. Till this, they have explained something for you. Then they ask, what contrasting attitude do you notice about the caste system in our society? What is the contrasting attitude about caste system? caste violence is there. This is all negative way of seeing the caste. You are not able to tolerate different caste, people belonging to different caste. So that is negative attitude. They are asking contrasting attitude are there. Some people support intercaste marriages in the name of intercaste marriages. So going and gathering, public gathering, your communion, you say. So you go to the different caste people's functions, meetings, gather and then enjoy with them. Some don't have that mentality. That you can notify an event where a dead body of a person who belonged to different caste was asked to take through a river. You have to encircle that complete area, that complete district. You cannot pass through this where the higher caste people are residing. They have to take it through the river and then cross it, and then they have to bring this person to what do you call that? Funeral, to the funeral area. So this and all, the way the people's mentality is contrasting attitude about caste. How do you explain the existence of contrasting attitude? What will you write for this? How do you explain the existence of contrasting attitude? What brings contrasting attitude in people? Why some are accepting it? Why are some not able to accept? So you can, what are the reasons? Due to background, that important thing, environmental factors. The way you are brought up, the family which has brought up you, the mentality of the parents reflected in you, the value systems which you borrowed from them, it is there deep inside you. That is reflecting in the form of implicit bias when it comes out. Or you can also mention about the experiences which you gain in life. You might come across some problems in your life where some other person from different community would have helped you rather than the person who belonged to your own caste. They would have all abandoned you. He is the one who would have offered a helping hand. Now your mentality would have changed. Why I should, see this caste and all. For me, everything is one only. Everyone are people. There are also humans there. There are also demons here. You would have think in that manner. Okay, so this is how you have to answer. Then we are witnessing increasing instances of sexual violence against women in the country. Despite existing legal provision against it, the number of such incidents is on the rise. Suggest some innovative measures to tackle the issue. Okay, sexual violence against women. How will you tackle this? So this was a question which was asked in 2014. So that sexual harassment related act based on the Vishaka guidelines has come out during that period. So then they asked what will be the innovative measures you can handle in order to stop the violence nature against women, especially during at workplace also. You have to mention at two places, one at personal space, one at workplace. Okay. So you can give some points from that guidelines itself. You can borrow some points and write. So what will be the very good, very good. So behavior change strategy is the important thing which you have to mention. Don't forget that and all, because from the childhood days, the boy's mentality has to be changed. Previously, it is a patriarchal society where male chauvinism was prevalent. And nowadays it is not like that. But previously, when we interact with our mother and our grandmothers, they used to say that even the food which they offer to the girl child and the boy child is totally different. Even the eggs, the non-veg, if the family is a non-vegetarian, they provide all non-veggies to boy, not to a girl. Girl has to eat at last. After everyone has eaten, the mother and the girl has to sit and then she used to eat. So these types of mentality was there even in the women's mind. Women, they themselves were in that mind only. How you, ladiki, why are you sitting along with the boy and eating? And there was one film also which was made, where the mother-in-law used to scold the daughter-in-law that how come you will sit along with your husband and eat? So serve your husband, let him eat, then the rest, the leftover, you eat. This type of mentality was prevalent among the women, they themselves. So that has to be changed. Not only Saksham, through Sabla scheme, this has to be bring. Sabla scheme has to be inducting these things also. Women also should be changed from this mentality because they started accepting it. How Safai Karmacharis, who are called Safai Karmacharis? Manual scavengers who accept it as their system, as their work, because society has inflicted this harm upon them long ago, centuries ago. They accepted that it's part of their duty. Same way women started accepting it. Yes, we are like this only. We are lowly creatures. We have to behave like this only. That is why the mothers, now our generation is totally different. Next generation will be totally different. But The mothers and grandmothers are still in that system only. So their mentality has also been changed. Okay, so like this way you can mention how through this how you can stop violence against women. So now what happens? Everyone are equal. You bring that mentality. So when you are trying to harm someone, then you will be equally punished like that. If somebody is harming you, then what you will do? You will punish them same way. If a woman is harmed, then what are the major punishments you will get in there? Then you can mention about some boards which can be established in order to frame policies from time to time at especially workplace. Because this Vishaka guideline mainly was brought when Anganwadi worker was raped in front of her husband, gang raped by the panchayat members. They themselves went because this lady stopped child marriage, which is going to happen in that particular place. No, they can stop it. They can go and inform. An Anganwadi worker is the government allotted person who will look into these social evils which is having are prevalent in the particular area. She will give information to the government. She will give information to the officers to stop the marriage. So she did it. She was again harassed like this in this manner, abused in front of her husband. There came then petition was filed in the court in the name of Vishaka. No, so that how the sexual to prevent or prohibit the sexual violence against women at the workplace act was formed. So you can bring those guidelines. Okay. Then like forming some bodies or boards in order to have complain about these types of issues if it is happening for a women. That the board should consist of women, not men. If men is there, our women will come and complain that see I am facing harassment like this. No women will come forward to talk. So these and all some of the issue sensitive thing which you have to keep in mind when you are trying to write these types of questions. 2013 one question was asked. What is male chauvinism? Louder. Thinking that I am the top. I am the prior person. I am the highest one. Women are lowest, and you are behaving in such a way that is called male chauvinism. Okay, patriarchal mentality, right? Yourself superior. You are the first person. Then how to say that? I don't know in Hindi. You can say in Hindi if you know. You'll understand better. That is, you are putting yourself as the first person in the family. Boys are totally different and girls are totally different. They're lowly creatures. You are thinking like that, and then you are taking dominance over them. Domination in everything. Okay, so that women doesn't know anything. Women cannot talk against a man. This types of mentality is called male chauvinism. Right? It's often said that politics and ethics do not go together. What is your opinion in this regard? Justify your answer with illustration. This was the question which was asked in 2013. What is the answer for this question? That I will be forwarding. In that notes, you will have these types of answers. They asked the question, politics and ethics cannot go together. What is your opinion? They did not ask, then do you agree with the statement? What is your opinion regarding this regard? You will agree. Why? Yeah, you will not agree. Most of you have to write in this manner only. I am not agreeing because if you say I agree, then what will happen? What will happen? There will be no ethics in conducting the government. Then how the people will be then? Now only you are saying that you have to consider you will be punished for all the illegal acts which you are taking, involving in. Even then you are involving in all type of criminal activities in order to catch the seat, the one seat where everybody is fighting. But then if you're saying that politics and ethics cannot go together, what these types of people will behave in the society? They will harm all the people. They will even kill the entire country in order to occupy one seat. So these types of things you have to take care of. Then you will put bomb over people. Community riots will happen. Caste-oriented politics will start. Then this person, in order to occupy that position, he will do anything. So without any ethics. So that is not accepted. The ethics will go in hand with the politics, has to go hand in hand in politics. You can bring good governance concept here. That is why now we are talking about good governance and ethical governance. Governance means where the government is going to govern the people, and government and administration is part of governance. If government is a part of good governance, the formation of government is also a part of good governance only. How we are forming a government is also a part of good governance. The election process. Okay. So has to be in the ethical principles only. Has to be conducted in ethical principles only. And after you go into the government also, you should conduct the government in the ethical way only. Okay, this is the one which you can give, that ethical governance and good governance you can bring insert here. with your answers. Okay. Uh, you cannot openly say some political party, don't try it like that, or some politician name you should not mention. But rather you can say there are some schemes or something where, the political people or the government is trying to, usurp the fund of the public fund, maladministration, misfeasance and malfeasance is happening. Or underutilization of public funds is there. This is also a form of unethical act only, which is from the government side. So that we are talking about ethics. No, you can bring those things, the flaws of the government. At the same time, you can also say that government has to be, you can either do in two ways. One is positive approach, another is negative approach. Negative approach, you can say all the negative things which is happening in the government, then you have to say ethics has to be there. In positive side, you need not say all the negative things, but you can say that government has to be conducted in this way. Positively, the point has to be done. Okay, positive affirmation, we say no, that way it has to be given, and then you can conclude your answer like either way. But don't try ethics and politics need not be together. Don't ever try do that. Okay, so that they are asking justify your answer with illustration. If you are giving your opinion, you have to justify with an illustration. As you can take some, as I said, some schemes or programs or something which is happening inside the government. You can even election process itself you can bring. Okay, so where the gundas are funding their political parties. You can also bring where I told that criminals are entering into the politics. This has to be stopped. It has to be checked. Okay, so like this way, for that we have to strengthen some of the acts which is there already. Even in constitution, we are banning the people who are involving in crime. No, how many years they are banned from participating in elections? 6 years. And if they are convicted and they are in jail for 2+ years only, not below that and all is considered. So that and all has to be removed, and then you can give some points like that. Okay, so this can bring ethics. This can strengthen ethics inside the politics. Okay, so understood. So this is your second unit. This much question has come from the second unit. Now we will start the fourth unit. Third unit we will start along with the sixth. Sixth and seventh unit is there. No, your administration unit. So before going into the administration unit, we will start third unit, then we will go to the sixth and seventh unit. Now we'll start with the fourth unit. So what are the syllabus topics? Emotional intelligence. Anyone read it for me? What is the topic there for you? Application of emotional intelligence or something like that. And one more is the structure and components of emotional intelligence. Uses and application. That is the second topic, I think so. In your syllabus, there are only 2 topics related to emotional intelligence. Okay, so what are called emotions, first of all? Before going into emotional intelligence, talking about the intelligence of emotions, then we should know what are emotions. What are emotions? So, to start, we can say emotions are something which we call the psychobiological adaptation, which is taken by humans to the external stimulus. Okay, some stimulus is there, something is stimulating my emotions. Then what are the things which my mind will get involved and what I will do? That are called as emotions. And one person has psychologist has come up with the definition that there should be an external stimulus from outside, okay, which is stimulating our emotions. Emotions arise from the subcortical region of brain. Subcortical region. There is some portion called as amygdala. Amygdala. Some dala, not dal. Some dala. Even one TV series was there. In that they explained where people will turn to zombies. Then they used to say that because their emotions are triggered. Some type of emotions are triggered in these people where this part is affected and they turn to a zombie. So that way, nowadays people are thinking differently. Previously they talk only, they take only in the zombie form. Now they are explaining why these people are like this. What is the reason? They are, I think now doctors are also entering into this field. No, they come and communicate with the doctor. Then they take nice IAS officers, one who study IAS aspirants are shooting movies nowadays. No, so now a lot of information are also in the movies. You can get some information also. So amygdala region is affected. That means in this part only emotions arise for you. When some external stimulus is there, then what happens? The amygdala portion is invoked, and then some hormones are secreted, and the neurotransmitters come into play. Okay, transmitters come into play. Now, I'll ask a question to you. I'm saying after 12:30, see students, sorry for the inconvenience. Another 1 hour, the class will happen. Now, what will you do? Huh? What you will feel? You will feel very happy. Anna, your tummy is already very in an unpleasant stage. Huh? Now your mood is also in an unpleasant stage. You feel like as if throwing something over to me. Anna, but you cannot. You cannot do it, but you feel like that sometimes. Sometimes you are there. You know, you are about to go prepare in your office. They said you have to go abroad, and you set up your mind in such a way that okay, no need of that. Yesterday, like last class, one student came and asked me, madam, that if suppose my parent is asking me that I should not go for tours, school tours, college tours, Anna, what you will feel? You have prepared your mentality in that such a way. From the morning in the school or in the morning in the college, you would have said, no, you wear this dress. I will wear this dress. Huh? You pack all these things, you bring this, that, and all. Your mind is in such a way. Then you come and tell to your parents, see, there is a tour, picnic in our school and college. No, you're not going. Now, what do you feel? What type of thing you are involved into it? At that time, something happens to you know. That is called emotions, they say. That is called emotion. So what happens? Some external stimulus is triggering your amygdala part of your brain. Then some hormones and neurotransmitters are released out. And this brings into physiologic arousals in your body. Okay. It brings in a physiologic arousals in a body, like raising of heartbeat, palpitation of your hearts, the movement of your eyeballs, then perspirations, you feel feverish, you feel as if all your saliva has been dried out. Suppose we'll consider an example like this. You're walking in the forest. You hear some loud sounds, and from the bushes are moving fastly. You are walking with the guide only. The guide has already told that, see, these and all the places where bear used to come and go then and there. And now, even if a person is walking in the tall grass, you would think that a bear is coming, approaching you. In that situation, what happens? You will feel as if your heart has stopped. Your completely your saliva will dry out, and the guide will stand here. You will run somewhere. You will be there in your. Yes, soulless. You will freeze completely. Like you will play statue and all, no, same way. So this is called physiologic arousal. Okay. And then what happens? There will be something which is called motivation to act. Motivation. There happens a motivation that you have to act in certain way. Action tendency. That if you are fearful, then what do you think? Should I run or should I act like dying? Something will work out in your mind. Some action tendencies happen. Urge, the desire to act in certain way. That is a action. We call this action tendencies. That is a motivation part. Okay. Then comes the expression of the action. Expression. You're expressing that actions outside. You're delivering it outside. You run away. Either you run or you face it. Fly. Yeah, very good. Flight or fight response comes in within you. So this is something called as emotions. And another one term which is associated with emotion is feeling. Okay. So when after completing the emotion completely, and when we compare feelings, I will bring that word there. Okay. So the feelings is also a part of emotion only. The component of emotion only. So I will connect there why feelings we are bringing here. Okay. So first you take definition for emotion. Emotions. Emotions, right? Emotion is what is emotion? Emotion is a cultural and psychobiological. Emotion is a cultural and psychobiological. Because why we are mentioning like the psychobiological adaptation means the psychologists are saying that emotions are codified in our genes. There are some emotions which are already there, which are built in our genes. Okay, that is why. So it's a cultural and psychobiological adaptation mechanism. Cultural and psychobiological adaptation mechanism, which allows cultural and psychobiological adaptation mechanisms, which allows each individual, which allows each individual to react flexibly, and dynamically, to react flexibly and dynamically, to environmental contingency, to environmental contingencies. GENCIES, contingencies. Okay, to environmental emergency. That means full stop. Then take another definition for emotion. Emotion. Have you written till this? Emotion. Second definition. Emotion is a complex chain of. Loosely connected. Emotion is a complex chain of loosely connected events. That begin with a stimulus. And include feelings. Include feelings that begin with a stimulus and includes feelings, comma, psychological changes, feelings, comma, psychological changes, comma, impulses to act, impulses, IMPULSES, impulses to act, and specific, goal directed behavior. Okay. Then mention Woodworth. Person name. Woodworth defines emotions as. Woodworth defines emotions as double quotation. Start the double quotation. As stirred up state of mind. Stirred up state of mind. Stirred up state of an organism. That appears as feelings to the individual. Stirred up state of an organism that appears as feelings to the individual himself, and to the individual himself, and as a disturbed muscular, and glandular activity. Glands. All your glands, adrenal glands will come into play here. Glandular activity to an external observer. Quotation close. So after the break, I'll explain the feelings and emotions, how they are connected to an external observer. So when you are under the emotions, you will feel that you are having a feeling only. You don't know that is the emotion. That is why most of the time we are using the word feelings only. You have a pleasant feeling or you have an unpleasant feeling. You don't know what are those called as emotions at all. But here your amygdala part is in action. Then if someone is seeing you, what they will feel? They will feel that you are, because you're sweating, you are fearful, you blink, you are not able to talk. They think that your glandular action is glands are in action. Only they can visibly see that. But you feel that it is a feeling. You have an unpleasant feeling or you have a pleasant feeling in certain situations. Okay. Right. So now you take 10 minutes break, come back. We will continue this topic. Start. Then the people will join. So you have written till this. First, we'll see what is the relation between emotions and feelings. Then we'll take some points also. All teachers like this, or they use PPT for you? How they are teaching? Huh? Huh? Notes, not PPT, no? Okay. Right. So feelings, because PPT culture has started very recently only. During COVID, lot of content developers started becoming a teacher. They put nice PPTs, diagrams, everything there in the PPT. Then read it out with the prompter before them. Prompter in the form of laptop. So please don't have the habit of taking PPT and all. PPT is available everywhere. You just go and click something, topics, PPT will come. Then nowadays they're putting even some sites like Murunal and all, they have all types of notes there. One and only thing is that the difference is a teacher teaching in the classroom should be totally different from the way it is put up in the PPT. PPT has organized note, I agree. And organizedly they will put every topics without any confusions. But that's not a teaching, okay? That's reading and teaching totally different. Now emotions and feelings you take. So we said, even in the last definition, you would have seen that emotions are appearing in the form of feelings only to the people. People think that it is a feeling they get, okay? So what is the relation between emotions and feeling? Because feeling is a component of emotion. Even when emotion happens, feelings happen as a component. Why? Feelings, emotions arise from the amygdala part of the brain. That is the subcortical region of the brain. Okay. But here the feelings arises from the neocortical region of the brain. Neocortical. The conscious part of the brain. The feelings and emotions are like two sides of the same coin only. When emotions are triggered, automatically feelings comes into play for a person. So emotions are always associated with the feeling. That is the relation between emotions and feelings. For example, we said that you are walking in a forest. That is an example we gave. Now, you and your friend are walking. Let us consider like that. Two different people encountered the same situation. Right? Now, a bear appeared in front of. We'll imagine like that. Bear or tiger, according to your own imagination, you can have. Your friend is a photographer. Wildlife photography is his passion or is her passion. You are a common traveler. You enjoy traveling, you go to various places. Now, before you, there was a wild animal. What will happen? Both of you face the same type of emotion only. What type of emotion? Fear. Fear is triggered in both of you. Both of you undergoes the same emotion, but in feelings is the one which decides which way you will act. That you may got a pleasant experience somewhere when you are walking in a forest. As a wildlife photographer, you used to encounter these types of situations a lot. You know how to handle it. Then you would enjoy. So you are very much fearful that you want to run away from the place. Flight. But your friend is a wildlife photographer. Curious. And wait, one more shot here. Let it come closer. Let it come closer. This is a very good opportunity I get in my life. And even if I die, I don't care. Going towards the animal. So there is a difference. Experiences. And that is feeling. You get a pleasant feeling or an unpleasant feeling, you run away from that. He gets a pleasant feeling because you got an unpleasant feeling, you want to leave. but he got a pleasant feeling. He want to stay, right? So this varies. So that is why feelings is the one which invokes the way you act towards when that such to the stimuli, towards the stimuli. When the stimuli invokes your emotions, your feelings also come to play, and your vision is colored by your feelings. Feelings varies from person to person, but emotions are commonly same. Okay, when you are encountering a situation, the same emotions is triggered in you. All of you have the fear to get into the exam hall on the pre-date. Preliminary date, I'm saying about. Anna, when preliminary is announced, you have taken the hall ticket in your hand, all of you, those who studied, those who do not study, all are in the same situation only, emotions. But then comes your feelings also. Then comes your cognition, the way you perceive the things. That way only your feelings will be formed. I'll explain with the example for you, okay? So now you take some points related to the emotion only. Still now emotion is not over. So you continue, because before that I thought of explaining what is feeling for you, okay? So often feelings will come inside emotions, that's why. Now thus emotions are experienced. Continue, it's a paragraph. Thus emotions are experienced in response to a, thus emotions are experienced in response to a particular, in response to a particular internal or external event, in response to a particular internal or external event, full stop. Emotions are experienced in response to a particular internal or external event, full stop. A response experienced in response to emotions are experienced in response to a particular internal or external event, okay, full stop. A response of this kind involves, okay. Point number 1. Response of this kind involves, put a colon, then under that, point number 1, mention number 1 point. Physical arousal in the body, physical arousals in the body. Underline that. When you are under emotions, all these things you will face. Physical arousals in the body. First point. Put a hyphen and write heart rate, comma, blood pressure, heart rate, comma, blood pressure, heart rate, comma, blood pressure, comma, perspiration, okay, etc. These types of changes you will face. Okay, goosebumps, all this are some of those things only. Yeah? So second, point number 2. A motivation to take action is activated. A motivation to take action is activated. A motivation to take action is activated. So there is an urge, a desire, a wish which comes before you that you have to act at the situation. Huh? Motivation to take action is activated. Put a hyphen and write. Seeking things. Put a hyphen and then continue. Seeking things and activities. Seeking things and activities. Seeking things and activities that provide. Seeking things and activities that provide pleasure. Seeking things and activities that provide pleasure. That provide pleasure. Okay. And avoiding those that. And avoiding those that give rise to. And avoiding those that give rise to. That give rise to pain. That give rise to pain or unpleasantness. That give rise to pain or unpleasantness. Okay, full stop. Pain or unpleasantness, full stop. Third point. Emotions arise out of. Emotions arise out of our. Emotions arise out of our sensations. Emotions arise out of our sensations, comma, perceptions, and thoughts. Underline that line. Emotions arise out of our sensation, comma, perceptions and thoughts. Arise out of our sensation, comma, perceptions and thoughts. Underline that line. Put a hyphen and continue. Related to objects. Related to thoughts, related to objects, persons and situations. Related to objects, persons and situations. Related to objects, persons and situations. inside the bracket, start a bracket and write. That is, what's the meaning of this? That is, it depends on how, it depends on how do we pursue, something. Okay, how do we pursue some things? The way we think, the way we look about that thing. That is the main thing. Close the bracket. So are you right? Pursue something, comma, you can't complete it. Otherwise, you never understand it. Pursue something, comma, think about it and interpret it. Pursue something, comma, think about it and interpret it. The way you are interpreting things. Then, fourth one. Think about it and interpret it. Okay. Fourth point. Emotions vary in their intensity. No, it is not same for all. Emotions vary in their intensity. Then, for example, you can give this. This will be the highest. This will be the lowest. Doesn't mean 0. It is like the lowest way. You just mention plus. Here, plus. Positive side. If I say, suppose, you will take pleasant. You mention this is intensity, level of intensity, okay? This Y quadrant is level of intensity. The level, the strength, we are saying, huh? So if pleasant experience, in this we can mention it as happiness, the lower level. And here we can mention as excitement and thrill. It varies from person to person, situation to situation. Emotions vary, no? Based on the situation also, you experience like that. If you want to mention something for unpleasant, you can also go. First, give some example for in this side. You can give for unpleasant nature. No, again, this pleasant and unpleasant varies according to the situation. So that also you'll understand. So if I want to take unpleasant nature, I can take for anger. In this case, you are irritated. Or you can say upset like this. The highest variant, what you will call this as? Huh? Pure anger. The highest, furious. No? Furious. So this is something we are plotting for anger. Anger in the less intense way, it will be irritated. And the highest, it will go furious or enraged. Okay, you can also use enraged, the word. Enraged. Then, have you written? So emotions vary in intensity. Even you will also understand this through Plutchik. There is a person who has given us an emotional chart, emotional wheel, which we will also do. So Plutchik is the person who has come up with that wheel of emotions later. So intensity level varies. The mild level. In the high level, furious. Mild level, saying, hey, I'm telling you no. It starts like this. The furious level, removing the chappals, beating nicely. Left, right. The moment it happens, taking the, what do you call that? Roti maker. You have one, Belan. Okay. Now, first wife wants very nicely, sweetly. She says that she is irritated with the behavior of the husband. Then the highest level, intensity level rises. She will run with the Belan in the hand. No, I'm coming and attacking the husband. Sometimes the life also is lost. Then, what's the point? Emotions can be desirable. Emotions can be desirable or undesirable to an individual. Emotions can be desirable or undesirable to an individual. Okay, on whether the said event is undesirable to an individual. Emotions can be desirable or undesirable to an individual on whether the said event is perceived as positive and whether the said event is perceived as positive or negative. And whether the said event is perceived as positive or negative related to an individual. Positive or negative. And the positive you put a single quote, no? Positive or negative. And above negative also you put a single quote. Related to an individual. Related to an individual, comma, resulting in. Related to an individual, comma, resulting in positive or negative consequences. Resulting in positive or negative consequences. Okay. So see, for this, I can give an example for you. Now, Mr. A, Mr. B. We'll take two examples. Huh? A and B. Both are an artist. So they play some instrument. They want to perform in the stage. That is the aim. That is the dream of every artist. So they go and enter the stage. You know, the stage is filled up with strangers. They will all be watching. Now, Mr. A is also in the same emotion, anxious, fearful about the situation which is going to happen. But at the same time, thrilled also, because you will get success. Once everybody has enjoyed, you will be known. So now you are going to perform for the first time. Mr. A also waiting, Mr. B also waiting. We'll take simultaneous example. Huh? Then now what happens? Let us take that silence. They started performing. Mr. A starts his performance. Complete silence is there. Now what happens? He predicts the situation as a negative way. In the negative way. Okay. So it is undesirable for him. Why? He thought that people are not enjoying his program. That is why they are not applauding. No, they're not cheering him up. They are very silent. So this instilled some fear and, undesirable or unpleasant experience within him. And it increases the intensity level of his fear. What happens? It will end up in a negative consequences. What happens here? He may freeze out. Huh? You don't know what is freeze out? Freezing out. You would have seen some people standing like this only. No, childhood days you used to experience this and all. Child, if you ask him to perform, he'll go there in the stage, stand for some time, stare like this and start saying, Mummy. Then the teacher says, come, enough. You have performed very well. Then B. Mr. B also was exposed to the same situation. But here silence only. He is also in the same emotion only. He is very much anxious that what will happen to his, whether people will enjoy it or not. He is the first doing this for the first time in the stage. Whether he will be appreciated and people applause for him. So no, he also faced the same silence. Okay, but he predicted it in the positive way. He considered it as a desirable situation because he thought that people are enjoying. That is why there is a pin drop silence. They are listening carefully. They are enjoying. That is why nobody is disturbing him by cheering up or applauding. So he may predict it in the different way. And now this leads to desirable consequences. This may increase his performance level. Okay, so that is why you read that paragraph now and connect the example, you will understand. Emotions can be desirable and can be undesirable to an individual. How he perceives these things as positive or negative. This is the way the person perceives a thing. So sometimes in interview also this happens. This trick is played by the examiner. You go and sit. Then they will watch that whether you are nervous, you are not nervous, but the way the body language which you use there. They will find out that everybody, they are also human beings only. They themselves will be in fear. If a student asks some question, what will I do? Most officers will be there, but without updation. They will sit and they will be asking questions. The thing is that fear is for there. Human beings will fear for some situations which is not predictable in manner. So you enter the interview hall, you will sit, he starts asking the question. Now what happened? The moment you are not, that person did not encourage you. These also they will do. Pressurizing you in a situation that you will tell the answer, he will not appreciate you, he will not smile at you, he will stare like this. Then you may think that you are wrong. Now what happens? You doubt yourself. You come in the same situation. You predict it in the negative way. You think that you have done something wrong or you are not said something a desirable way. That is why he is blinking like this. Even for job interview, you will face these kind of situations. Then what happens? Automatically, everything will get collapsed. You will freeze out. Anna, after that, nothing will work out. Your brain will never work out at all. But if you are in the calm and cool way, you just say, oh, I have answered. He asked some question, I have answered. Let him ask, then I'll answer. It doesn't mean that he has to appreciate and he has to applaud me. You know? So you are predicting in the positive way, right? Then you will end up in a nice way. You may answer everything. You may come out, walk out in a same way how you entered inside, right? So this is how we, these people also playing, with the people's emotions in interview, right? Did you understand the paragraph? Understood it? Anyone having doubts? Yes, why silence? So what is it written there? So now you don't have doubt, I'm asking a question to you. Silent, okay, good. That's why you're silent, Sometimes people are completely absent from here. Then that is also, there was also silence. You are somewhere else. And I should ask whether you understood or not, because you have to use these concepts in a questions answer. No, that is why. Good. Now, components of emotions. That's it. We have defined emotions. We have defined the characters of emotions. Now we'll go to the components of emotions. That is the next topic. Components. What are called the components of emotions? One model which was completely stirred up. That is, this has been invoked by some stimulus, raised up situation that you are normal now, right? Now I'm asking you, come here. What happens? I just come on the stage. Now, what type of feeling you do get? There's a stirred up type of feeling you get. No, suddenly I'm asking you to answer some questions or come up on the stage, give some speech. So you have to face the crowd. Now that is a stirred up state of an organism, right? You are evoked by an external stimulus. Now your emotions get evoked here. That's why we are saying a stirred up situation, right? State of organism. Components of emotion. So there are 5 components, okay? We'll start with the first component. Let's draw this, then I'll explain. These are the components of emotions. Already in the definition, when we are giving emotion, we have mentioned all these things. So these are the components, okay? There are 5 components. Generally, we consider this Scherer's model only. His name is Scherer. Scherer's model of emotions has come up with 5 components of emotions. These are the 5 components. You see, so affective component. Affective means something which is related to emotions only. No, so here we consider this as feelings. Feelings is a part of emotion. As I said, when your emotions are triggered from external stimulus, your amygdala part comes into play, and now your hormones are activated. Your glands comes into action, like adrenal glands. All these are involved into it. They transmit in the form of neurotransmitters. They act as neurotransmitters, transfer that message into your body. Now, that response your body is giving is something called as physiologic. So the palpitation of heart, perspiration, goosebumps, all these are resultant of that only. So feverish type of feeling you get. So all these are because of the physiologic nature of your body, which reacts to the stimulus which is evoked from outside. When this is happening parallelly, there arises a feelings which is from the conscious part of your brain. Okay, so then feelings are associated with the emotions. When what type of emotions are triggered? the feelings are associated relative to that. Okay. Either it can be a pleasant experience of feeling or unpleasant. So here, not only related to emotions, but related to your experiences also, feelings varies. Okay. Already you would have encountered the same situation somewhere. Then you know, okay, this is possible, this is fine. I can overcome this. That is why some people are able to face the exam, with brave heart. I can say like that. Some others are in a panic mode. They get diarrhea, they get fever, increases. Fear increases, intensity level. Then what happens? You get all types of symptoms. You will not able to go to the exam or even. Now, many times students come and complain to me like that. See, madam, I prepared everything. I know I am very much confident, but suddenly what happened? My body did not cooperate with me. How will your body cooperate? Your mind is not cooperating. Feeling, right? Cognitive part. Why this cognitive part is a component of emotion? Because the way you are perceiving things is important when emotions are triggered. When you're looking into a thing, you have to collect information about it. Then you have to understand about that thing, the perception of the thing, interpreting it in the right way. Then that's how it's a part of emotions. Okay. So when an emotion is evoked, first you will study about the thing, then emotions comes into play. Motivational action tendencies. This is something called as action tendencies. Okay, where you have an urge. When an emotion is triggered in your body, you have an urge, wish to act in certain way, in certain fashion. In one fashion, you try to act. That is called action tendency. Expressive means you think to act in one way, but you act in, something which is expressed outside as your behavior. No, that is called expressive component. Your behavior, right? You may think that bear is in front of me, I have to run, but your legs will not cooperate. You think to run, but you stand in the same place, freezed out. That is expressive. That's the difference. Action tendency is that you want to fly away, flight mode, but your legs are not cooperating and you are there standing in the same place, freezing out. That is called expressive component. Okay, so behavior and action tendencies may be sometimes go in balanced way. Maybe sometimes they may be in contradictory. That is why we have put up as a separate component. I have not done it. Scherer has done it. So now you take the notes for affective. So these are the 5 components. Put affective as a heading first. Physiologic means what? It's the bodily reactions. Okay, it's not an action you're taking. It is automatically your hormones are acting in your body. Your glands comes into action. That is why we say this is some medical situation also. Biologic situation. Physiobiological adaptation. That is the word we use for emotion. Something which is not related to only the feelings part, are not related to something which you think and do. Automatically your body is undergoing certain changes. So when you are fear, you will get some changes in your body. What and all will happen? Your eyes will become red. What you will do? I'm asking you. Fear, anger. Okay, take anger. When you're angry, what and all the symptoms you'll have? Some people you would have watched, the lips will vibrate. Have you noticed? Your father and cheeks turning red, and instead of cheeks turning red is totally different. Okay, like that. And you have red eyes, or sometimes you feel like your temperature has increased in the body, BP shoot up. All these are symptoms which are due to glandular activity. Okay, you cannot control it. You cannot control that. You will undergo it, but you have to control your feelings and emotions so that this can be kept in check. Okay. So you have to accept, and then you have to control and put it in the limit. That's how you can, try to control these things. That's why doctor used to say, don't trigger the emotion in the heart patient. If you want to give euthanasia, you can do it. But otherwise, you cannot go and tell something happily to him. What happened? Straight ticket to heaven or hell. Now only came out of the surgery room to tell that something which he should not hear. Excitement level goes up, thrill. Then that's it. Affective. Put a hyphen and write, because your glance comes into action, not he is thinking and controlling something. Put a hyphen and write to affective component in that hyphen. Refer to as a conscious. Refer to as a conscious. So refer to as a conscious, subjective feelings. Happy mood. refer to as a conscious, comma, subjective feelings, comma, subjective feelings, full stop, then continue. By monitoring self, one can feel and recognize it. By monitoring self, one can feel and recognize it. One can feel and recognize it. Okay? One can feel and recognize it. Cognitive. Second component, cognitive. Cognitive. Put a hyphen and write. It involves describing. It involves describing and assigning. It involves describing and assigning. See, why we are saying in the affective component, we mentioned one line as that we can monitor ourselves and we can recognize this affective component of related to emotion. Why we are saying that? Take psychological, serial killer. Killing other people. Will you like it? Seeing blood, harming someone, shouting in pain. What type of feeling you will get inside? Something where you are in grief, deep pain. When someone is shouting in pain, you also undergo the same thing, at least some sadness. But some people have thrill in sadness. When their heart is in sad, emotion is playing inside, they get very thrilled and excited. So that's why they do all these things. So they watch it, they understand that they are enjoying it. That's why they try to harm other people. And if they are in pain or they are crying or they do something, they enjoy it. So because they watch it very nicely, they know what is the affection they are having, the feeling related to that particular emotion. Then they involve in that crime again and again. Accidentally you do something, but after studying you involve in something. That is why serial killers you would have seen in many films, they would show these people are very intelligent people. They know what they are and they involve in the crime. Without knowing you are doing something that is totally different. But after knowing your emotions and involving in it, that's the thing. Cognitive. Put a hyphen and write. Involves describing and assigning meaning to the emotion. Cognitive. Put a hyphen and write. Involves describing and assigning meaning to the emotion. Okay. Here, this component helps to understand and understand and predict the things. Which shoot up the emotion. Shoots up the emotions. Okay, full stop. Physiologic component. Put a hyphen. Physiologic. Bodily reactions. It can be external reaction, it can be internal reactions, anything. Bodily reactions. Generally, we say this as. Put a hyphen and write bodily reactions in the bracket, like, or just write like voice change. You see something fearfully, you'll not able to speak. No, sometimes voice will not come out, or voice will be different. Screaming, voice change. Okay. Then facial expressions, sweating. Then redness of eyes. Okay. Redness of eyes, etc. This can be visibly seen by other people. If some people eyes turn red, you can see it. Someone screams, you can hear that properly. Something which happens, internal changes also. Put a command, right? Increase in heart rate. You cannot feel that. Only you yourself will feel it. One who is undergoing that only can feel that. Increase in heart rate. Increase in blood sugar level. Like this, something can happen. Secretion of saliva, or there is no saliva, dry mouth. Like this, all these are some of other symptoms which comes under the physiology. Okay, motivational. Next component, motivational. Put a hyphen and write. motivational. Under that. Going towards or away. Going towards or away from an action. Going towards or away from an action. Or person. Anything which has invoked your feeling. No, you are trying to approach it or you are going away from it. Comma, also called as action tendencies. Comma, also person. 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 Action or person. Comma, also called action tendencies. Action tendencies. Right? That is an urge. An urge. That is, it is an urge to carry out. It is an urge to carry out. URG, urge to carry out. It's an urge to carry out certain expressive. It is an urge to carry out certain expressive or carry out certain expressive or instrumental behaviors. Urge to carry out certain expressive or instrumental behaviors. Okay, full stop. Then if you want, you can put this tabular column there behind this for action tendencies. When you are coming across certain types of emotion, what are the action tendencies you will face? You know, these are emotions you can mention. Then you can write action tendency. Tendency. Huh? Expressive? No, that is last one. I'm asking you to make this under motivational. Then comes expressive component. Under the motivational, emotion and action tendency. No, motivational means action tendency, right? So now you write anger. Like this, when I'm saying emotions, you write under that. Then action tendency, you have to write below this, action tendency. If there is an anger, then what happens? Attack. You try to do this, you think in the mind. Huh? So anger, attacking the other person, either through words or through wraths. Anyway, through hands or through words. No, attacking in either way. Right? Then fear. Straight to that, action tendency. Second one is fear. Have you written this? Then you write fear. Escape. The action tendencies. Escape or hide. Huh? Flight or freeze. And that is why, flight or fight or sometimes freeze. In the neutral way also that can happen. Escape or hide, anything. So these are some of the action tendencies which can happen. Huh? But you don't think to freeze away there. That happens. That is expressive. Don't write here. Escape or hide or escape or hide. You mentioned like that. Escape or hide. Okay. You just want to escape or run flight mode. Huh? Or fighting. If you are very physically strong, then you will try to fight against that person. Fight. Disgust. DASGUST. Disgust. Then what will be the action tendency? Expel. So disgust, you know. What is disgust? Disgusted. We say no sometimes in home. Huh? Why? You are not approving that action of the other person. Disgusting. Huh? And not liking. Then what do you try to do? Expel. Now you either go out or you make that person go out. Expel. So shame. Under the emotion. Shame. Shame. What? Disappear. Now, either you disappear your face alone or you yourself completely disappear from that place. Disappear. Sadness. That's why I told no shame. Suppose you're feeling something embarrassing moment in the schools or somewhere, then you don't want to go to the same school. Just ask your parents that I don't want to go to school. You just change me. Huh? So shame, disappear. Then sadness, withdraw. Sadness, withdraw. That will be the action tendency. Joy. When you are very happy, what do you do? Jumping, play. You just mentioned play. You'll do anything. Playing. You're in a happy mood. No? Some people also give money, throw money. Take it. Joy, play. Interest. State. Explore. Interest. So you explore some things, new things. Okay. So now comes the last component, that is expressive component of emotion. So put a hyphen and write. Nervous. What you will do? Which one? I don't understand. It's something like you can say that a physiologic thing a body is undergoing also. You are nervous in sometimes when you are nervous, you just exhibit something. But nervous is a type of emotion also. Now it's expressed outside in the form of some components. When you're nervous, what and all will happen? Biting nails. Very good. Then any other thing? Biting the nearby person. Perspiring. Perspiring, biting nails. So nervousness is some kind of emotional attack only. It's a combination of emotions. It's not a basic emotion where some 2 or 3 emotions comes into play. Then you come into that type of feeling. And then you give some physiologic actions takes place in your body. And it's not a way you express things. It's not an expression. Expression is something which give out. As you said, something can be noted by other people, biting the nails and all, are nervous. You don't want to participate in that particular thing. You just withdraw from it. Same, like as you are sad, you try to do the same thing. Expressive, displaying emotions through facial expressions. Displaying emotions through facial expressions. Okay, expressive means now you are displaying the emotions through facial expressions such as smiling, crying. Okay, our body movements, not only facial expressions, sometimes through body movements also. Okay. Emotions through facial expressions. ORR, body movements. Facial expressions such as smiling, crying, like this, you can give anything in the bracket. ORR, body movements. How? Like such as throwing things. I said like when you are anger, attacking some people. So that way, throwing things. Some people have this habit, no, whatever it is there in front of them, if they are very angry, they will throw it and break it. How many of you that have that habit? You don't even see whether that's your mobile or the other person's mobile. Very good. You don't realize it. Just throw that and break it. Then you come to realization. Punching. Punching the other person. Okay, good. So types of emotions. So these are the components of emotions. Now types of emotions. There are 2 types of emotion. Category, we can say, category of emotion. One is the basic emotions. Second is the secondary or complex emotions. Basic or primary emotions, we say. Second is secondary or complex emotions, okay? Very happy. When you're angry and then you're enjoying. If I'm angry, I will do all these things. So, primary or secondary emotion, we call this as primary emotions. These are called basic emotions. The basic emotions, there are, according to Plutchik, there is a person name. This is a person name. Okay, this person has come up with some 8 basic emotions a person carries. Human beings have 8 basic emotions. Why we call this as basic emotions? Because they're very simple. It can be easily understandable. Even the person who's undergoing that emotion can easily understand that he is fear, his anger, his disgusted state, he's sad. These types of emotions are called basic emotions. There is no complex nature of emotions at all. But complex emotions, so easily it can be understood by the person who is undergoing the emotion and by the other persons also. But in complex emotions, they are very hardwired. It's a mix of lot of emotions. It's mix of 2 or 3 basic emotions. So it's not easily recognizable. That's why we call this as complex emotions. Okay. So for example, you draw this diagram for Plutchik's wheel of emotions. This is called Plutchik's wheel of emotion. You are going to draw that. Okay. like a chart, emotional chart, which you can have, for your reference. So this is called Pruchik wheel. So now, like this, just write inside. What are the words I'm asking you to write inside the second circle? Just mention that. Huh? So fear, anger. Should I write or I'll dictate? You will write. Have you done the diagram? Please draw it first. There should be 8. I have drawn 8. No. Yes. If you want, you can also put border for this, but it's not necessary. If you want, you can draw. Mention this is Kluchik's wheel of emotion. Give a topic like this. Under the types of emotion, it's called Kluchik's wheel of emotion. Drawn the diagram, then I will start dictating for you. Okay. I will written this, we will write in some order because we need to mention the complex emotion also here. Okay. Are we done? Wait, like that sound. Huh? On 2 word you have written, oh, strike it out. That's it. Huh? So don't write it in the, because from my mind, I may write in a different order, but you need to mention about the complex emotion also here. That's why I thought of this, dictating for you. Done the diagram? Shall I dictate? So start with the anger. Right, anger. Okay. So in this line, you have to complete. This is the higher intensity level. The intensity level is high. The basic emotion varies in intensity. Okay. If it's an anger, but in the highest stage, what will be? And the lower intensity, the strength, then what it will be? You are writing like that. Okay. So for anger, you write rage here. This rage. Okay. Inner circle. I'll say inner circle, then write rage. Then outer circle, you write annoyance. Annoyance. Okay. So second, after anger, then you write disgust here. Disgust. First, if I say something, disgust, then you have to mention the middle part. Disgust. Inner circle. The inner circle you write loathing. 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 Okay. Loathing. Outer circle. Loathing. 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 Okay. Then outer circle. Boredom. Boredom. Loathing. You know what is loathing? So it's something like a very strong dislike you have towards something. Okay, that is loathing. So then here, what is outer circle I have mentioned? Boredom. Mention boredom. After this, sadness. After disgust. Sadness. Sadness. After. So this is the common wheel which is practiced everywhere. No, throughout the world, we are considering this wheel of emotion only. So sadness, the inner wheel, you can write grief. Grief. Sadness will come here. Okay. Next one. So then here grief. Like this you have to write. Outer circle. Mention sadness. For sadness, I'm saying. Outer circle, you mention pensiveness. 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 Some sad thought. No, not completely sad. You have a sad thinking sometimes. No, that is pensiveness. A mild. Okay, next one. Surprise. Sadness over. Then surprise. Mention surprise. Surprise. Amazement. Inside the inner circle. Amazement. Amazement. Inner circle. Outer circle. Distraction. Distraction. No, distraction. Right? Then fear. Then fear. Put fear. In the inner circle, mention terror. Terror. Outer circle, apprehension. APPREHENSION. What is meant by apprehension? Some uneasy feeling you have, no? That is called apprehension. Uneasiness. So fear, terror, and apprehensions. Then trust. Trust. In the inner circle, you mention admiration. Admiration. You are admiring someone. Admiration. Outer circle, acceptance. Okay, acceptance. Trust. In the high intense level, it can go to admiration, and in the lower level, it can go to acceptance. This you can use even in a civil servant. Civil servant's main duty is to build the trust. Once the trust is built, the intensity level increases among the people. They will admire the civil servant. Whatever he is going to tell, they are going to follow closely, like a political leader or like a film star. There will be a fan club for him. So joy. Joy. Nowadays, the civil servants are more handsome than film stars, no? Especially you just go there, put one cooling glass and stand there in front of the people. People will think, oh, star and all is nothing. See our district collector. See, the lady and the man. They are looking like superstars. Joy, ecstasy. ECSTACY, ecstasy. No, intensity level, ecstasy. Ecstasy, ECSTASY. Ecstasy. Extreme happiness, no? That is we call ecstasy. Joy, serenity. The outer circle you mentioned serenity. Inner circle is ecstasy. Outer circle is serenity. Serenity means what? Calm, peaceful kind of mentality is called serene. Then anticipation. Next one. Anticipation. Anticipation. Inside inner circle, vigilance. Okay, inner circle, vigilance. Outer circle. Inner circle, it is vigilance. Outer circle, it is interest. Outer circle, it is interest. Okay, that's it. So we have written. Now you write the complex emotion. How? See, you have to mention here. We have put here outer circle. No, in this combining these two, you have to write a word here. Combining these two, you have to write a word here. Okay, that is complex emotions. I'll be saying for anger. You know, anger you have no, and before that, anger, or you come from here only, same. Anger and disgust. This between these two, you have to write in this place. Now, outer circle, the last, you have to write remorse. Remorse. Sorry. Right? Contempt. Contempt, not remorse. Contempt. Contempt. Sorry. Contempt. Contempt. It's something, a mixture of anger, disgusted feeling, all that together comes in the form of contempt. Contempt, CONTEMPT. Okay. Then disgust, in between disgust and sadness, you write remorse. Remorse, REMORSE. REMORSE. It's something, a deep regret type of feeling. REMORSE, remorse. Remorse. Okay. Then between the sadness and the next one, like it goes like this. Okay. Between that two. Between sadness and between surprise. You write disapproval. 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 Okay. Then between surprise and fear, you write AWE. Yeah. So it's wonder type of feeling we have. So AWE, mention that. Surprise plus it's something, a wonder type of feeling which we have, plus fear. We are fearful, at the same time we are wondering about that. So that's then between fear and trust, you write submission. Fear and trust, submission. Fear and trust, submission. This only happens in many cases. You're trusting the person, at the same time you're fearful for his power. You're submitting God. Then joy, serenity and acceptance. Between that you write love. Okay. Love. Love. Joy and trust. In between that you have to write love. True or wrong? You expect that way, but it ends in some other way that is totally different for some people. Joy and trust, love. Then between anticipation and joy, optimism. Okay, because here serenity and your interest combine and come in the form of optimism. Okay, optimism. Then between the anticipation and anger, you write aggressiveness. Okay, aggressiveness. Right. So this is given by Plutchik. So these are called as the last one which you wrote. No, combining these two, combining three emotions, those are called as complex emotions. They are secondary emotions. Okay, it cannot be easily predicted and understood by people. They don't know why they are in this feeling. That is why even when we are fall in love, we don't know why we are in love. That is, they say love is also a type of emotion only. Still no argument is going on. Some people say that it's a drive. Some people say no, that's an emotion only. So like this, we have a lot of complex emotions which we cannot easily recognize. We don't know why we are aggressive now. Aggressiveness may be a combination of 2 or 3 emotions. Same way, we don't know why we are, having a positive thought about something. Maybe some interest on that thing or something which gives a peace of mind to us. All these factors combined together starts a positive optimism type of feeling we get. Okay, so this is what Plutchik has given. And here in this wheel only, he has mentioned about all the secondary types of emotions and all the primary emotions which comes into the human beings. Comes into play into the human beings, right? Now, fine. With this, emotion is over. So we have how is disgust lead to boredom? No, disgust does not lead to boredom. The mild way of disgusting is something which is you have a boring feeling. You don't like it. Then what? Why it is boring for you? You don't like it. So it is not an intense level, not higher level of intensity. If it is in the, we can say the disgusted feeling, the highest level of disgusted feeling we have already written as a loathing, intense disgust, intense dislike. But in the mild level, you get bored about it. Right? Same way. After some time, 2 hours crosses, same face, same voice, boredom. Then over the period, if it happens every day you come here, every day you see the same teacher, same subject, the teacher is handling all the subjects. Now I am going to handle all the subjects, starting from history, geography, everything. I'll stand here, I'll read out to you. You cannot watch. That is why even news reading, they change people. Boredom. They change scenes and make you engaged. Now, emotions. Now we are going to the emotional intelligence. That is our topic. So what is emotional intelligence? We have to know that. Before that, take one small paragraph about emotion, feeling, and mood. Okay? Emotions, feeling, and mood. Because that's a topic which is these are the things which are inherent inside the emotions topic. Anytime they may ask you. Put a small tabular column, with two rows, okay, like this. We know what is emotion, we know what is feeling. Okay, there is something called as mood also. You may get confused why, what is this called as mood? Is it a feeling? Is it an emotion? Okay, so now you write emotions, second feelings, then mood. Right, like this. Emotions, feelings, mood. You take a small differentiation between all these three terms. Okay. Under emotion, you can write instant physical response to a stimulus. Instant physical response to a stimulus without awareness. Instant physical response to a stimulus without awareness, that under emotion you write. Instant physical response to a stimulus without awareness. Under feeling. Under feelings. Conscious awareness. So under emotion, it is an instant physical response, okay, to a stimulus. When a stimulus is invoking something, your emotion get triggered. You do not think and then your emotion gets triggered here. Huh? So instant physical response to a stimulus without awareness. Under feeling, conscious awareness of an emotion. Conscious awareness of an emotion that arises. Conscious awareness of an emotion that arises in response to a stimulus. Conscious awareness of an emotion that arises in response to a stimulus. And under mood, stimulus, in response to a stimulus. Here also there can be a stimulus. Stimulus stimulate the emotion and feelings comes attached with the emotions. But mood can occur without an external stimulus. Under mood, mood can occur without an external stimulus. Okay, can occur without an external stimulus. Then again under emotion, second point. Second point under emotions, it is brief in duration. Emotions is brief in duration. Okay, short. Then feeling, they are also brief in duration. Then under mood, lasts over a long period of time. So under mood, it lasts over a long period of time. Even sometimes days. No, it extends to days also, mood. Last over a long period of time. Okay. So you know that when you are when your emotion is triggered, we already have given some examples also. One such example we have taken, that you are in a presentation, you are presenting your project in before the team, and to approve for the finance. Now financial sanction has to be happening for your project if you are undertaking a project. So you approve, you are presenting your project to the team. Now they are all sitting and they feel happy about the project, your plan. They appreciate you. Now what happens? Your emotion is triggered. You get a good feeling, pleasant feeling. Now what happens? Your mood is lingering. After some time, the emotion and feeling which is triggered will subsidize, but mood will linger around you always. You know, so that mood, in that mood, if you're trying to talk to people, you will be very nice to them. You will do all the help to other people. So because why? You are in the mood. You know, 1 week sometimes, 2 days, 1 day, this continues. That is why we say mood is extensive in nature comparative to the feelings and emotions, which comes for shorter duration. Okay. Now, emotional intelligence. So what is emotional intelligence? We have seen emotions, various way we have defined emotions, right? Even there is one theory called Catherine Bridges theory, which talks about the stages of emotional development in a child, how a child will start to develop emotions. According to that theory, the theory says that emotions are sometimes built inside our genes. It is in our genes itself. The moment a child is born, you know, inside our gene, we have certain emotions like fear, like basophobia, phonophobia. Is it right or wrong? A born child is fearful about some things, about the height, you know, about the sound. If loud sounds comes, then it starts crying. So it says that they say that emotions are already carried in our genes. It is passed from generation to generations. Because man, when he wandered in the forest as hunter-gatherers, as an individual, without a society, that time even, a lot of emotions started building in his gene. So whenever he hears a loud sounds, he gets fear to it. So it's passed to generation from, you know, one generation to the other generation. Through the genes, it is codified and is sent to. Biology would have learned what is meant by codifying the genes. how it get coded, imprinted in our genes, and it is passed from the father to the son, grandfather to the father. Like this way, it is passed. The skin color, texture, everything we get it in that manner. Same way, some emotions also comes to us. They say like love. Sometimes if they ask in question, you can mention this as some concept there. Like as per Catherine Bridges, this is the name of the. Just make a rough note, okay? No need of dictating notes and all. Catherine Bridges is the person. So she has said that some of the emotion, not only she is one of them. Some psychologists has proved that emotions are built in our genes. It is already there. It is there. It is imprinted in our gene. It is sent from generation to generation. Some emotion, especially they have mentioned about 3 emotions: fear, okay, love, anger. These 3 are there. The moment we are born, we have it. Okay. So it varies from person to person. So this, and then they say as the child develops, as the child grows, then various types of emotions comes into play into the child's life. The child may be delightful. The child is first delightful only, then distress. It also knows the pain, and now the delightful and distress then differentiates into various types of emotions. In delightful itself, we have various forms of delightfulness, joy, and in pain we have various forms of pain. So like that, then comes jealousy. In the 2 years of age comes jealousy. No, child starts to push the father away from the mother. He says, only I want mother to me only. Sometimes mother from the father. Girl child mostly attached to father. He says, why are you coming and talking to my dad? So this way of jealousy comes into the mind of a child. It starts building in the 2 years of age. When you are 6 years of age, the psychologists say that you are put into shame type of thing. Before that, you will not wear even dresses. You will walk here and there. 6 years of age, you feel very embarrassing in front of everyone. If somebody talks something about you, you feel very shy. Why are you talking in front of strangers about me? You ask your mother, anything, you just take me inside, you talk to me there. Nowadays, child are asking questions like that, no, to the mom and dad. So they say there is a development of emotions also. Like how a moral development, a mental development takes place, development of emotions also takes place in human beings. Through this theory, we can understand. Now we'll go to emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? So far, we have seen what is emotions. This is our topic. No, what is emotional intelligence then? We know what is emotion. What is emotional intelligence then? Intelligently dealing emotions. 3 things you have to keep in mind, okay? In respect to emotional intelligence is a skill which can be learned by people. You can acquire it. It is not inbuilt within you. You can acquire it. So here there are 3 components you have to keep in mind. One is understanding the emotions, okay, of you and the emotions of others. Identifying and an understanding of emotions of you and others. So this comes in the name of emotional awareness. We call this as, we give a general name called emotional awareness. So where we are trying to identify and understand the emotions we are into and the other people are. Okay, how we will identify the emotions of others? You know about you. You can learn about you. Okay, so if I'm anger, what and all I will do. If I'm jealous, what and all I will into. If I am happy, how I will behave. That you know. If you are studying about you, how will you learn about the emotions of others? By their behavior, their expressions, which is given out. Yes. Then comes emotional manipulation. Not manipulation. Emotional management. Don't write manipulation. It's a negative word. Emotional management. So it's a skill which composed of all these things. Emotional management means after understanding and identifying your emotions, you are trying to manage the emotions. You are trying to control it. Do you remember that long back we discussed a topic called ego defensive function under attitude? So what we studied under that? There is some positive way of controlling your emotion, I told you. What is that? Sublimation or projection is a concept where you are going to control the emotion in the positive way. So emotional. So sublimation or projection will include these 2 topics. Emotional harness. harness. That means not only controlling the emotions, you are using the emotions in the right way. You're trying to use your emotions in the right way for the benefit of you or the benefit of others. Okay, so this is called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a skill where a person tries to understand and identify his own emotions as well as the emotion of others and try to control the unwanted emotions. Okay, or try to limit his emotions the way he has to express outside and utilizing the emotions in the right way, in the right direction for the right results. Okay, this is called emotional intelligence. So write the definition. So what is emotional intelligence? Now write the definition for that. Emotional intelligence. It refers to the ability. It refers to the ability to identify. It refers to the ability to identify and manage. It refers to the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions. Are you okay? What happened? Not well. Oh, check carefully because nowadays again corona is coming. Huh? You have to take care of you. That is important. It refers to the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions. Identify and manage one's own emotions, as well as the emotions of others, as well as the emotions of others. And it includes 3 skills. Okay, it includes 3 skills. For this, you have drawn this diagram. Have you drawn this diagram? 3 skills. Put a hyphen for emotional awareness. Put a hyphen and write. It is an ability to emotional awareness. Means it is an ability to identify. It's an ability to identify. So in the first component, I'm saying, put a hyphen, emotional awareness. It's an ability to identify and understand. Identify and understand one's own emotions. Ability to identify and understand one's own emotions as well as the emotions of others. One's own emotions as well as the emotions of others. As well as the emotions of others. Okay. Then emotional management under that. Emotional management. Put a hyphen, right? Regulating one's own emotions. Regulating one's own emotions and helping others. Regulating one's own emotion and helping others also to do the same. Helping others also to do the same. Then emotional harness. Emotional harness. HARNESS. It's the ability to utilize the emotions. It's the ability to utilize the emotions wisely in problem solving approaches or in decision making. Wisely, WISELY, in problem solving or decision making. Wisely in problem solving or decision making. Okay. So now in the emotional intelligence, you will be studying 3 models of emotional intelligence. If they are asking the components of emotional intelligence, already they asked one time, components of emotional intelligence. Then you can take any model. From that, you can pick up 5 components. You can explain these are components of emotional intelligence. Okay. So we will be seeing 3 models for emotional intelligence. Components of emotional intelligence. What emotional intelligence include? For that, first one is called as ability model. Okay, ability model. The first is called ability model. Here there are 4 components of emotional intelligence. Need not explain, just mention the ability model because already we have taken some definition for emotional intelligence. Same only here is given, not anything different. There are 4 components. One is perception of emotions. The first component is perception of emotion. So what is perception of emotion? Huh? Understanding, identifying the emotion. You just mentioned like that inside the bracket, identification of emotions. First, you have to identify. Second, understanding the emotions. So you may ask, what is the difference? Okay. I can give an example for you. Right now, your friend and your friend's girlfriend are in fight. That girl come to his room, his house. Now fight goes on. She takes the mobile which is nearby him when he was there sitting, and then she broke in anger. She threw like this, and now it broke away. She left the place. Now the mobile is lying broken pieces below. Now you enter. The moment you see, oh my God, he's sitting sad in the chair or in the bed. So you saw the mobile lying down. You saw him. You saw the mobile. Now you are saying, oh, he's sad because the mobile is broken. Now you go to him. Don't worry here. I'll buy a new mobile. Huh? For this only you are this much sad. Huh? Don't worry. The thing is that you have identified the emotion rightly. He is sad. Why that person is sad? For the breaking of mobile. There is something bigger which is broken behind. No. Huh? Dil, dil, and a heart is broken already. He's for that he's putting such a long face and sad face and is sitting. Now his mobile is not in his mind at all. No, the girlfriend has left, scolded him, broke the mobile, left. But now you are seeing only the mobile and asking him. So the understanding of emotion. Why is sad? You are not able to understand that properly. No, this is what happens in many of our lives. That is why the relationship is strained. In a lot of cases, you see, between the family, father and mother and the child, and the husband and wife. The main problem is that they can identify the emotions, but nobody can understand why we are on the emotion, why we are undergoing that type of mentality now, why we are in the face. Okay. If so, then the relationship will be maintained in a nice manner. If not, that is why these people are having poor emotional intelligence, which is trying to affect your personal relationship as well as your workspace. You are not able to identify why your worker is under that emotion. The third component, you can mention the third component, management of emotions. Management, according to ability model, these are the four components. Okay, management of emotions. How well you are going to manage the emotions, control the emotions, regulate the emotions. Okay, that is management of emotions. Already we have taken notes for that. Management of emotions. Fourth one, emotional facilitation. Emotional facilitation. What is this? Again, the same thing only. How well we are going to utilize the emotions for the benefit of problem solving or decision making. That is emotional facilitation. This is the simplest model of emotional intelligence given and the name of ability model, which was given by Peter Salovey and Mayer, who coined the term of emotional intelligence. In 1990 itself, they coined the term of emotional intelligence, and they came up with this theory of components of emotional intelligence. They said that emotions can be used in the right way also. We always see that emotion is a bad. We always consider emotion as a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. It can be used in improvement of decision making. That way they came up, that's very initial period. Initial phase, they came up out with these four components of emotional intelligence. And they are the one who defined the term of emotional intelligence. Then later in 1995, Daniel Goleman was a person, which his model also will be seeing, mixed model. He came up with the improved model of emotional intelligence. He wrote a book in the name of emotional intelligence, which made the emotional intelligence term popular. Okay. So one model we have seen, and another one interesting model is there in between. That is called the ESI model, emotional social intelligence model, which we will discuss in tomorrow's class. So did you inquire to the management? Whenever I go, there is no light also, the management side. How many days they are going to give off for you? Now, how you are talking? Any ghost communication? How you are talking to management? Some people has to be there, no? They're there or not? Only one day, 1 or 2 days for New Year. How will you people go to your hometown? They don't want you to leave. Huh? Diwali, that's it. Otherwise, for New Year and all, you don't get. Very bad, huh? Ability model, Peter. And Maya Salome. Okay, thank you all. We'll meet again.